A big paranormal channel has just taken a huge hit as one of their members and one of the more beloved members of the group may be departing from the group indefinitely. And it's still up in the air whether this is completely legit or whether this is some kind of publicity stunt, maybe a prank of some kind. You know, it's not out of the realms of possibility for this group. But it comes from The Boys. Now, The Boys are a very, very large paranormal YouTube channel. Well, sort of paranormal. They do a little bit of everything, but paranormal is kind of one of their bigger things, right? And they've got 5.9 million subscribers. Absolutely huge. But they do a lot of paranormal content alongside, you know, some jovial stuff. But paranormal is kind of their most popular stuff, right? You know, they get millions upon millions of views, and they kind of do it in quite a jovial, fun kind of way. And one of the biggest members, or most, I wouldn't say entertaining, but, you know, one of the more fan favourite members by the name of Eddie, right, may be walking away from The Boys, as over on their Twitter page, The Boys, can't believe he left The Boys, rip Eduardino VR, you will be missed, skull emoji with the RIP, and then Eddie's face on the tombstone. Now, this has made huge rounds over on social media, right? Like, people just can't believe that he would walk away, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. Like I've said before, they do a lot of prank kind of content. This could just be some kind of elaborate joke, but, you know, there's a lot of speculation with regards to this, to what might be happening, right? Now, obviously, with regards to the post itself, it kind of came out of left field, out of nowhere. It just kind of happened, and it obviously, like I say, came from the official account. But it was posted on June 18th, so only a few days ago, and the post obviously refers to Eddie VR, a member of The Boys in the YouTube group known for VR content, memes, and fan interactions, as mentioned in the post. And the tone of the post obviously suggests quite a playful or exaggerated mourning of Eddie VR's departure, but there's obviously not a lot of further details, and they haven't stated anything else publicly. They've just kind of put the post out there and left it down to like the response. Now, Eddie VR is one of the more prominent figures, right? Even on his own YouTube channel, he's got quite a large following, 7.4 million subscribers, and he does obviously a lot of VR kind of content, and it slaps. He's quite funny, he's jovial, he's fun, he's engaging, right? He's a very engaging member of the group. And his role within the spooky content that they do usually is for, like, you know, a bit of comedic relief. He's got a great dynamic with the rest of the group and with fan engagement, right? So because he's already well known for his spooky content with his VR gaming, it meshes quite well with what The Boys do as an entire group. Now, you know, for him to be leaving and leveraging his, like, Mexican humor and horror passion in VR games and IRL ghost hunts, his TikTok reactions and paranormal videos obviously also draw significant engagement despite debates over authenticity, which, you know, is by the by when it comes to this kind of thing. There is no verified evidence of him actually leaving the group, and his spooky content remains a fan favorite, evident of his most recent subreddit activity, for example, and X sentiment. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of other stuff as well that's going on behind the scenes. So I believe he's recently become a father as well, which obviously is heavily time-consuming, incredibly time-consuming, as you can probably imagine. So, you know, he might be taking a temporary step away to try and, you know, focus on being a parent, being a father, being more active with his children. I don't know. You know, and the other question as well is, what does this mean for The Boys YouTube channel? Obviously, he is quite a large portion of that, right? In terms of his personality, his humor, his like, he's part of the reason as to why a lot of people enjoy watching The Boys. Would him stepping away from the group potentially be a detriment to the group? Could it be, you know, quite, like, detrimental to in terms of views? If he walks away, would some of the fan base walk away as well? It's a tough one to know. You know, he's still quite active over on his own, well, not as active on his own YouTube channel. He only really posts once in a blue moon, right? But you know, he's obviously it's quite a big role that he plays within the Boys group as well. So I guess the question is this serious? as most of us think it could possibly be? Is this a bit of a joke? Which, you know, is also a strong possibility. Even if you look down in the comments, some of the comments are quite jovial. He can't leave if you steal his baby. So, you know, obviously he's just had a baby. So, you know, people just kind of be funny. That can't be true. Sad emoji. Look at how you massacred my boy. Please say psych. I don't want to believe it. Nah, my man. What's actually happening? Grok, is this real? Let's see what Grok's response was. Seems to be a joke about Eddie VR leaving the boys, not his actual passing. Obviously, we know that, like, that he's not actually deceased, obviously. You know, people just saying, like, this can't be real, don't let this be real, don't play with me, you know. Basically, people don't want this to be real. And I think that sentiment alone goes to show his how big of a part he plays within this YouTube group and how much people absolutely love the boys. It is also worth noting that in the description, he is still named, right, as one of the groups, right? He's still named, so he's not been removed from that, and this obviously came out 3 days ago at the time of recording. So, yeah, it's just part of everyone wants it to be fake. Part of some people are like, well, is it real? Like, who knows with these people? Because they are such a lively, jovial group, no one actually knows if this is a legitimate case of, is he leaving? Is he staying? Ultimately, what do you guys think? I think J Cart's made a video about it. He's made some very similar points as to what I've made here. You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forwards if he continues to be in videos, if they actually elaborate on this post any further. Obviously, it's very cryptic, you know? Who even knows if they do, if he is leaving? It could just be a massive joke. Who the hell knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Would you like to see a bit of a rebrand for the boys? Do you think that they, like, you know, him walking away could be a good thing? I don't know. I think he brings the life and energy to the videos, if I'm perfectly honest. So it would be a huge loss to lose Eddie for the videos. I don't think they would struggle without him. But, you know, I think his presence will be missed. Again, though, I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say down in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to get the hell out of that like button. I think we just hit 23,000 subscribers. So let's go for 30,000. That's a huge number. 30,000 subscribers. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date as much as I can with everything paranormal, spooky, and craziness. And there is plenty of stuff going on. So yeah, catch you guys in a bit. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And I'll spook to you later. Peace.